So you beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. Now I hope those of you who celebrate Christmas had a fantastic time, and those of you who don't, I hope you enjoyed the time off if you did have time off over the holiday seasons. Myself, I've been looking after loved ones, and I'll be honest with you guys, the last 6 months have been pretty pressing on me, but the last 8 weeks have really had me under the cosh, and that's kind of why you guys haven't seen me upload. In all honesty, I've just been too busy with my family to upload YouTube videos. I mean, it's a labor of love at the end of the day. I do everything on my channel. I haven't got the luxury of having an editing team, so I've got to get the gameplays, which you guys must know is a laborious task in itself. Then I've got to do the commentary, edit the video, do the thumbnail, upload it, do all the tags. You get my drift, guys. And I do apologize for not uploading, but I genuinely just haven't had the time. And this is the first time I've actually had time to do so. So jumped in my room and thought, let's get on the mic and talk to the people. Today I wanted to talk about the fact that Activision took a massive risk changing COD's identity and why I believe it has backfired. Yesterday I was lying in the bed with the missus, and we tend to wind down for a few hours before we end up going to sleep. So she'll watch stuff on TikTok and all those sorts of things, and I'll tend to watch YouTube or browse through Twitter or watch golf videos or Call of Duty videos as I do. And YouTube suggested a very old school video, which Proto Man said on my community post today that he would love to see me speak about it. And the video was 402 Thunder way back 11 years ago getting a imaginary tactical nuke, because he didn't have one on there, but his variation of a nuke on the likes of Black Ops 1. Watching the video, it took me back to a place in Call of Duty that I know a lot of you guys who watch my videos long to go back to. Thunder went on, I think it was a 26 kill streak with no uses of kill streaks. It was literally a gun only 26 kills. And it was on one of the DLC maps, which is a golf course, which is something I really enjoy. Hazard, which was a classic. And watching the video took me back to not only a place in life that I really enjoyed, but a time in Call of Duty which I would refer to, and many of you guys would probably refer to, as the golden ages. And a lot of you guys who don't have the experience of those particular games, like the Black Ops, the Modern Warfare 2s, the original, the Modern Warfare 3s, will probably always wonder what the hell us old folk are rambling on about when we talk about these games. And just like Proto Man said in my community post, you could go 30-1, 30-3, 29-1 in consistent back-to-back games, and it wouldn't affect how competitive your matches would be. That's simply because ping was literally king back in the day. Now, there would have been some small element of skill-based matchmaking because you need the algorithm to match people up, but the number one priority was ping back in those days. And if you came up against somebody that was as good as you or better, that was just the roulette that you played, the luck of the draw. Now, a lot of people like to harp on about this current game and the current generation of Call of Duties with the thick skill-based matchmaking in them, as that's something to help the casual gamer. But ultimately, Call of Duty has been as big as it is for these numbers of years because it is a casual game at its heart. It's a pick up and play game. It's not hard to get your bearings in this game. And essentially, I joined this game as a casual myself way back with the original Modern Warfare 2. I mean, I heard about this game through hearsay, through my work colleagues who were all talking about the game. I didn't own it, and I felt really left out, to the point where I actually went and brought a TV, brought myself a PlayStation 3, just so I could be involved in all of these nights these guys kept talking about. And you know what? I never for a second regretted spending those couple of £100 to get a new flat screen TV and a shiny new PlayStation 3 just to play Modern Warfare. In terms of gaming, someone who's always gamed, it was life-changing in terms of my gaming, and I continued to play that game, so much so that I dedicated a YouTube channel to it. The rest is history. What does that show you guys? Well, it shows two things. Someone like myself who didn't have an interest in Call of Duty will have a interest in Call of Duty if, one, enough people are talking about it. And in the day and age we live in, where you're outnumbered if you haven't got a social media account of any sorts in this day and age. And with this now, with the new algorithms in those, there's aggressive marketing where things will be put in front of your face on a daily basis trying to get you to buy them. And Activision and Call of Duty are aggressively marketed, so the casual gamer will have that exposure to this game to go out there and try it. For me, I used to buy PlayStation magazines, get the demo disc, put it in my PlayStation, play each and every single game, and whatever really piqued my interest, I would go out there and buy, or maybe my mum would buy. Try to work it out now whether I'd have, yeah, probably some pocket money and a paper round would have paid for that. We're going way back now, guys. We're going way back when Trakky was a wee boy. But essentially, casuals will get into a game because it's immensely popular and they hear everybody talking about it, or the game is inherently fun. And I genuinely believe all this manipulation and manufacturing is starting to catch up with Activision and the developers of the games now. Because if we take a look at this particular Steam chart here, and yes, there's a caveat here, I understand that this doesn't factor in the likes of the PlayStations and Xboxes, but it's quite indicative of what's going on in the Call of Duty realms right now, because the PC population has grown drastically after seeing certain streamers like Dr. Disrespect, Swag, and all those types of players move over to PC. People migrate, people follow the trends, people want nice gaming rooms, nice rigs with RGB fans and all those sorts of things. So a lot more people play Call of Duty now on PC than they ever have done. And if we look at this particular Steam chart here, Christmas is traditionally when we get an influx of new players come to Call of Duty to repopulate some of what they may have lost, or they actually gain those players on top. And if we look at Christmas Day on these Steam charts here, we will see that the player count actually starts to drop. Now, there's plenty of people that will argue people are seeing their families and so forth on that particular day. But if we look at all the other games, and specifically at FIFA 2023, that game goes up on a Christmas Eve, which in some countries it would be Christmas Day, and it continues to keep that trend, which would show you a game that is also released on a yearly basis has peak interest at Christmas time. And this is a very worrying sign for Call of Duty fans, but more importantly, the likes of Activision, the likes of Infinity Ward. And I think there's two things that are going on here. As I've alluded to already, Call of Duty has changed its identity, and I think it's changed its identity too much. We keep hearing the argument, casual players, and we've also heard the argument, this is the fastest selling Call of Duty of all time. I've already said it and I'll say it again. That is without factoring in the fact that this game costs significantly more than Modern Warfare 3 did in 2011. And gaming, as I've proven it in other videos via actual factual statistics, has been more popular now than it has ever been. It's more accessible now than it has ever been. And we're in a situation with Call of Duty where these casual gamers, who are they? Who are they? They're the people that are getting introduced to this game, as I've already said, by people who are playing this game. And you know who they are? The people that are my age, who have now got children, who are introducing their children to this game because they've played this game for a number of years. So that's why I believe they used the Modern Warfare name, arguably the most popular title in the game's franchise. There are those of you who I know genuinely believe Black Ops 2 is the best Call of Duty there ever was, and that is a debate in itself, but it's definitely a top tier Call of Duty game. But I would say Modern Warfare, in terms of its franchise name, holds more weight than the likes of Black Ops. And for me, that name alone is what they banked upon, and going off the success of Modern Warfare 2019, which I think is one of those pieces of success that was timed to perfection, and Activision were never ever going to emulate that again, even though they believed it was the game, because they're arrogant enough to do that, and so are Infinity Ward. I genuinely believe those people have stuck to their guns and kept certain design choices in Modern Warfare 2 simply because they're arrogant enough to believe that Modern Warfare 2019 done as well as it did off its own back, and not the fact that everybody was locked down and had to stay in their houses. Thus, they played Warzone and realized there was a game called Modern Warfare 2019 where they could go into that game and rank up their weapons a lot quicker, because we know it's not even an argument. Warzone did insanely good during the pandemic, but Modern Warfare 2019 had already come out the year before, and it finally hit 30 million sales in May, which is a bit of a quinky dink. After March, we got locked down. So that's kind of where I think we're at. These guys believe that success would be emulated by saying Modern Warfare 2, it's easy marketing and we'll get everybody in there. But it's shown, it's obvious, the player retention is non-existent, and this game has just hit some of its better parts of the year. Every single Call of Duty where Christmas noobs was celebrated, like Trakky celebrated them in Black Ops 2, that game popped off for another 4 or 5 months at least. We weren't talking about leaks in the likes of February. It's a really weird time in Call of Duty, because I don't believe this game is going to last us for 2 years. And I think what's happened here is also Infinity Ward's beliefs outside of gaming. When you go and look up these people on the likes of Twitter, the individuals like Joel Seacott, Ashley, whatever her name is, I forgot her name now, and you see their views, you start to understand why certain design choices have been made in this game. They want to equalize everything and make everything quote unquote fair, and Call of Duty is a naturally competitive game. In fact, pretty much every game is naturally competitive, whether you're trying to beat the game itself or you're trying to beat other people at the game. So what they've done is diluted everything and taken everything that made Call of Duty essentially away. The red dot situation, the fact that your combat record is only recently been a thing in the likes of Modern Warfare 2. They do everything within their power to not show you how well you've done in the game in terms of kills and deaths until the very last minute where the lobby gets disbanded. The skill-based matchmaking, I could sit here and ramble on about every single thing these people have done to dilute this game and essentially make it a stranger to what I and most of you will recognize as Call of Duty. And I genuinely believe now we are starting to see that shift in Call of Duty where people are starting to put this game down. Me lining up for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, so excited at midnight launches. Yes, I know everything's digitized now, but I just don't get that same feeling anymore. These scoreboards were a regular thing in Call of Duty when connection was king, and you could also meet people instead of the lobbies disbanding, where you could make friends and go forward and have friendships and know people from Call of Duty that I've known for over 10 years now. That's what Call of Duty used to do. Now, I feel like Call of Duty is more of a stranger than a dear old friend. Down in the comment section, let me know your thoughts and feelings. Guys, there are many buttons you could hit, but I like the subscribe button. Hope they took your fancy. And as always, guys, don't forget to stay on the right track. Peace.